In life, the chosen one faces storms. These are the turbulent moments that challenge their resolve, test their character, and push them to their limits. These storms are not mere inconveniences or minor hurdles. They are the monumental trials that seem insurmountable, the ones that force the chosen one to question their abilities and even their purpose. But how do they survive these storms? How do they continue moving forward when everything around them seems to be falling apart? In today's video, we will explore how the chosen one navigates the greatest trials they face, both within and beyond themselves. The journey of the chosen one is not an easy one. It is filled with obstacles and adversity that seem designed to break them. Whether it is battling external forces, be it societal oppression, political resistance, or personal enemies, or facing their own internal struggles such as doubt, fear, or moral dilemmas, the chosen one is constantly under pressure. These storms test not just their strength, but their very identity. They are pushed to the edge, forced to confront parts of themselves and the world around them that they may have never wanted to face. And yet, it is in these moments of trial that the chosen one's true character is revealed. But how do they survive these trials? How do they keep going when they are battered by winds of adversity, or weighed down by the storms of personal conflict and doubt? The chosen one's survival is not just about sheer endurance. It is about resilience, the ability to rise time and again, no matter how many times they fall. It is about discovering inner strength, learning to lean into their purpose, and finding the motivation to press forward when the odds seem overwhelmingly stacked against them. In this video, we will dive into the survival strategies that allow the chosen one to not only endure the storms, but emerge from them stronger and more determined. How do they handle the pressure from the outside world, from those who doubt or oppose their mission? How do they confront their own internal battles, such as fear, self-doubt, and uncertainty, and continue on the path they've been called to follow? The answer might surprise you. It's not always about power, influence, or external support. It's about something deeper, something that comes from within. We will also explore the different ways the chosen one finds the courage to navigate the most difficult and trying moments in their lives. Sometimes it's the clarity of their purpose that keeps them grounded. Other times, it's the strength they draw from the struggles of their past, using their wounds as motivation to fuel their determination. And often, the chosen one finds that it is through their darkest times that they discover just how resilient they can be. Before we dive deeper into this exploration of resilience, adversity, and survival, I want to encourage you to take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you find this video valuable and inspiring, your support helps us bring more content like this to the forefront, and it allows us to continue discussing the powerful stories of those who defy the odds and rise above their storms. Let's get started on uncovering how the chosen one survives the storm, and how we can all learn to navigate our own storms with courage and strength. The storm is a powerful metaphor for the struggles, challenges, and obstacles that the chosen one faces on their journey. But what exactly does this storm represent? When we talk about the storm in the context of the chosen one's path, we're referring to the trials and tribulations that threaten to break them, both from external sources and from within themselves. These storms can take on many different forms. Some storms come from personal struggles, such as doubt, fear, loss, or inner conflict. Other storms come from the world around the chosen one, external opposition, societal pressures, and the resistance of others. The storm may also manifest as moral dilemmas, where the chosen one must confront difficult decisions that challenge their values and principles. In essence, the storm is everything that stands between the chosen one and their mission. It is the whirlwind of forces that can feel overwhelming and all-consuming. These are the moments in life that push the chosen one to their limits and test their resolve. They are often the most intense, trying moments of a person's journey. The moments when everything seems to be falling apart, when the odds are too great, and when giving up seems like the only option. But the storm is not just a destructive force. It is also a force for growth, transformation, and self-discovery. It is in the midst of the storm that the chosen one finds out who they truly are and what they are capable of. The storm represents the trials that force the chosen one to confront their greatest fears, their weaknesses, and their doubts. It's in these difficult moments that their resilience and determination are sharpened. Adversity is a powerful tool that forces the chosen one to dig deep within themselves and discover the strength to keep moving forward, despite the immense challenges they face. This is where true growth happens. Without these storms, there would be no transformation, no strength, and no resilience. It is through adversity that the chosen one is molded, shaped, and strengthened. But what makes the storm so essential to the journey of the chosen one is that it is not just about surviving the hardships, it's about using the adversity to fuel growth. Every challenge they face is an opportunity to learn, to develop, and to rise above. The storm forces the chosen one to face their limitations and expand their capacity for perseverance. It makes them stronger and more resilient, preparing them for the next challenge that lies ahead. In the face of the storm, they learn to trust themselves and their purpose more deeply. They also learn that the storm is not just a moment of suffering, it is a part of the larger journey that leads to their ultimate success. The nature of the storm can vary greatly depending on the individual. Some chosen ones may face storms that are primarily internal, struggles with self-doubt, emotional pain, or a lack of confidence. These internal storms can be just as, if not more, difficult to navigate than the external ones. It's one thing to face opposition from others or deal with practical obstacles. It's another to fight the battles inside yourself, where the doubts and fears live. The chosen one must not only face the world, but also confront the inner turmoil that can arise when they question whether they are truly capable of fulfilling their mission. Then there are the external storms, those that come from outside forces like political opposition, societal resistance, or the expectations placed upon the chosen one by others. These external challenges can feel like a storm that is beyond their control. They might come in the form of resistance from powerful figures, public criticism, or even outright hostility. The chosen one's ability to endure and navigate these external storms is crucial to their success. While these challenges may seem like a barrier, they are in fact opportunities to develop strength, conviction, and perseverance. The chosen one is often forced to go against the grain, to stand up against established systems, and to challenge the status quo. These external forces push them to find their voice, assert their values, and stay true to their purpose. At times, the storm is also about moral dilemmas, those moments when the chosen one must choose between two paths, both of which involve great sacrifice. These moments of crisis often define the chosen one's character. It's easy to make decisions when the right path is clear, but it is in the face of moral ambiguity that true leadership is tested. The chosen one must decide whether to act according to their principles, even when it means facing great personal loss, or to compromise for the sake of expediency. These decisions are often the hardest because they demand a level of integrity and moral clarity that not everyone is willing to embrace. Yet, it is through these difficult choices that the chosen one cements their commitment to their higher purpose. As we explore how the chosen one navigates these storms, it's important to understand that these adversities are not just obstacles to be avoided. They are integral parts of their journey, shaping them into the leader, visionary, or hero they are meant to become. Through every storm, the chosen one emerges stronger, more focused, and more determined to fulfill their mission. The storm is not just something to survive, it is something to embrace and learn from. Let's look at two historical examples that embody the essence of surviving the storm: Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela. Both of these figures faced immense external opposition during their lives, yet they used the adversity they faced to strengthen their resolve and further their missions. Mahatma Gandhi's storm was not just the external political opposition he faced from the British Empire, but also the internal struggles of reconciling his vision of non-violent resistance with the harsh realities of colonial rule. Gandhi's mission to free India from British colonial control was filled with immense challenges. The British Empire had a powerful military, vast resources, and global influence. Gandhi's approach was radical in its non-violence, and many initially doubted whether it would ever succeed. He faced constant resistance from those who did not believe in his methods, from the British authorities to his own people, who sometimes viewed non-violent protest as ineffective. Yet, Gandhi used these challenges to solidify his principles. He did not waver in his commitment to non-violence, and found strength in his ability to confront these adversities head-on. It was in the face of this storm that he achieved the unthinkable: India's independence. Gandhi's journey is a testament to how external adversity can fuel a deeper commitment to one's mission. Similarly, Nelson Mandela faced external opposition that seemed insurmountable. As a leader of the African National Congress, ANC, he fought against apartheid in South Africa, a system of institutionalized racial segregation that oppressed the black majority. Mandela spent 27 years in prison, and throughout that time he endured harsh conditions, constant isolation, and numerous personal sacrifices. His storm was not just the external battle for justice, it was the emotional and psychological toll of being separated from his family, his people, and the movement he led. Yet Mandela's time in prison allowed him to emerge not with bitterness, but with a stronger commitment to reconciliation and nation-building. His ability to survive this storm and continue the fight for equality and justice ultimately led to the end of apartheid and the birth of a new, democratic South Africa. In both cases, the storms these leaders faced were not merely obstacles, they were integral to their journey and personal growth. Gandhi and Mandela didn't just survive their storms, they allowed the adversity to strengthen them, making them more determined, focused, and resolved in their mission. Their ability to navigate the storm not only changed their lives, but the course of history. Their stories prove that the storm is not just something that stands in the way. It is the very thing that forges the chosen one into the person they are meant to be. In conclusion, the storm that the chosen one faces is an essential part of their journey. It represents the internal and external challenges that test their character, their purpose, and their resolve. These storms are not just obstacles to overcome, they are opportunities for growth and transformation. It is through the storm that the chosen one becomes stronger, more resilient, and more capable of achieving their greater mission. Just as Gandhi and Mandela used the adversity they faced to strengthen their missions, so too can we learn to face our own storms and emerge from them stronger, wiser, and more focused on the path ahead. In the previous section, we explored the nature of the storm, the challenges and adversities that the chosen one faces on their journey. We saw that these storms come in many forms: external opposition, societal expectations, moral dilemmas, and of course the personal struggles that often test their very character. These storms are not just obstacles, they are opportunities for growth, transformation, and self-discovery. They are the moments that forge the chosen one, shaping them into someone capable of fulfilling their greater purpose. But as we dive deeper into how the chosen one survives these storms, it becomes clear that the external battles, though important, are only one part of the equation. The real strength lies within. It is the inner strength, the emotional resilience and mental toughness that allows the chosen one to weather the storm, to keep going even when the world around them is falling apart. Emotional resilience is the first crucial element that allows the chosen one to endure and survive the storm. This kind of resilience is not just about being tough on the outside, it's about having the emotional fortitude to face hardship and still maintain a sense of purpose. Emotional resilience is the internal resource that the chosen one draws upon when the storm seems overwhelming. It is rooted in self-belief, the deep conviction that they have the strength to overcome whatever comes their way. Self-belief is the foundation of emotional resilience. Without it, the chosen one would succumb to doubt, fear, and despair. Self-belief is what enables them to rise after each fall, to keep going when they feel like giving up, and to trust that their mission is worth the struggle. But emotional resilience also comes from a sense of purpose. When the chosen one understands why they are doing what they're doing, when they know that their actions have meaning and that they are working towards something greater than themselves, they are better equipped to endure the storm. Purpose gives them the strength to keep pushing forward, even when the journey seems impossible. It serves as a guiding light, a constant reminder that the struggle is not in vain. The chosen one may not see the full impact of their actions immediately, but their belief in their purpose provides the emotional strength to endure. Additionally, determination plays a crucial role in emotional resilience. The chosen one's determination allows them to keep fighting, even when the storm seems relentless. It is the unwavering resolve to stay true to their mission, no matter how many setbacks they face. This determination is not born out of a sense of invincibility. It comes from the understanding that the road to greatness is not easy. The chosen one understands that the storm is part of the process and that their ability to endure it will ultimately lead to their success. This understanding fuels their determination to continue, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. As essential as emotional resilience is, the chosen one must also possess mental toughness in order to weather the storm. Mental toughness is the ability to maintain focus and clarity of purpose, even in the most chaotic and challenging moments. It is the mental fortitude to persevere when everything seems to be falling apart. Survival in the storm is not just about enduring the physical or emotional pain. It is about maintaining the mental clarity to keep moving forward, step by step, toward their goal. Mental toughness is rooted in the ability to remain focused on the bigger picture, despite the distractions and pressures of the storm. When the chosen one faces opposition, criticism, and even personal loss, it is their mental toughness that allows them to stay focused on the end goal. They understand that the storm is temporary, but the impact of their mission will last long after the storm has passed. Mental toughness also means being able to bounce back from failure. The chosen one will undoubtedly face setbacks along the way, moments when they feel as though they have failed, when their efforts seem futile. But mental toughness allows them to view failure not as a defeat, but as an opportunity to learn and grow. It teaches them to see every setback as a stepping stone toward their ultimate success. The ability to stay grounded in their higher purpose is one of the cornerstones of mental toughness. The chosen one knows that they are part of something bigger than themselves, and this knowledge keeps them focused when everything else around them seems to be crumbling. Their higher purpose serves as a source of strength, reminding them that the storm is just a temporary challenge and they are capable of overcoming it. Let's take the example of Oprah Winfrey, who embodies both emotional resilience and mental toughness in a way that inspires millions. Oprah's life is a testament to the power of inner strength in overcoming adversity. Before becoming one of the wealthiest and most influential women in the world, Oprah faced a childhood filled with trauma, abuse, and poverty. She grew up in difficult circumstances, facing sexual abuse at a young age and experiencing the pain of abandonment. Throughout her early life, Oprah faced many challenges that could have easily broken her spirit. But instead of succumbing to her circumstances, Oprah used her struggles as fuel to propel herself forward. Oprah's emotional resilience came from her deep belief in herself and her ability to create change, both for herself and for others. Despite the abuse she suffered, she found a sense of purpose early on in life. She knew that she wanted to use her voice to help others. This sense of purpose gave her the strength to rise above her difficult childhood. As she entered the media industry, she faced numerous obstacles, biases, discrimination, and personal challenges, but her emotional resilience kept her going. Oprah didn't just survive her hardships, she thrived because she had a mission to fulfill. Her determination to succeed, even in the face of adversity, helped her become one of the most influential figures of our time. Oprah's mental toughness was equally vital to her success. In an industry where many women face immense barriers, Oprah had to remain focused on her long-term goals and stay true to her mission, even when others tried to undermine her. She faced criticism, obstacles, and setbacks, but she never wavered in her commitment to using her platform for good. She also had the mental clarity to navigate the ups and downs of her career, learning from each setback and continuing to push forward. Oprah's story shows that mental toughness isn't just about surviving hardship, it's about using those challenges to become stronger, more focused, and more determined. Oprah Winfrey's journey illustrates how both emotional resilience and mental toughness are essential in facing life's greatest storms. Her ability to draw strength from her past, her belief in herself, and her commitment to her purpose helped her transform adversity into success. She didn't just overcome her struggles, she used them as stepping stones to build a legacy that inspires millions. In conclusion, the survival of the chosen one in the storm depends largely on their inner strength. Emotional resilience provides the foundation for enduring hardship, while mental toughness allows them to stay focused on their mission. Together, these qualities form the core of what it takes to navigate the most difficult challenges. The chosen one's ability to draw strength from within, to believe in their purpose, and to remain determined in the face of adversity is what ultimately allows them to survive the storm and emerge stronger than before. Just like Oprah Winfrey, they find the strength to rise above their struggles and turn their pain into motivation, inspiring others along the way. As we move forward in exploring how the chosen one survives the storm, we've already seen how emotional resilience and mental toughness play crucial roles in facing life's greatest challenges. These internal strengths allow them to endure and press on through adversity. However, the journey of the chosen one is not only about enduring personal hardship, it is deeply connected to their purpose. The chosen one does not face the storm simply for personal gain or self-preservation. Their mission is far greater than themselves. It is their purpose, the very reason for their existence and actions, that serves as the guiding light through the storm. Purpose is what keeps them focused and determined when the path becomes unclear or the obstacles seem insurmountable. It is their commitment to a greater cause, one that transcends their own struggles, that propels them forward. The power of purpose cannot be overstated. Purpose provides the chosen one with clarity, a sense of direction, and an unwavering belief that what they are doing is meaningful. It is the driving force behind their actions and the key to their survival in the face of overwhelming opposition. When the storm rages, when everything around them seems to be falling apart, the chosen one can always rely on their purpose to keep them grounded and focused. Their purpose is like a compass, constantly reminding them of why they must continue. It helps them push through moments of self-doubt, fear, and discouragement, guiding them back to their mission and the greater good they seek to achieve. A powerful purpose is what allows the chosen one to withstand the storm. When facing difficult situations, whether physical, emotional, or social, it is easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. The immediate hardship can feel all-consuming, making it difficult to see beyond the current struggle. However, the chosen one, driven by their purpose, is able to rise above the temporary challenges and focus on the long-term vision. They understand that the pain they endure today is part of a larger journey that will ultimately lead to positive change. Their purpose gives them the strength to keep going, even when the road is long and filled with obstacles. This ability to see beyond immediate hardship is essential for survival in the storm. The long-term vision of the chosen one is not just about achieving success in their lifetime, it is about creating a legacy, shaping the future, and making an impact that will outlast them. Their vision is focused on the broader implications of their actions and the long-term benefits of their mission. This long-term perspective allows the chosen one to endure short-term suffering for the sake of the greater good. They are willing to sacrifice their comfort, their safety, and sometimes even their lives, because they believe that their mission will ultimately lead to a world that is better for others. The chosen one is able to find meaning in the hardship they face, knowing that the impact of their mission will extend far beyond their own experiences. One of the most remarkable examples of the power of purpose is the story of Malala Yousafzai, a young Pakistani girl whose mission to advocate for girls' education kept her moving forward despite threats to her life and the severe challenges she faced. Malala's purpose was clear from an early age. She believed that every girl, regardless of where she was born, had the right to receive an education. In a country where girls' education was often denied, particularly under the oppressive rule of the Taliban, Malala refused to remain silent. Her voice became a beacon for change, a powerful symbol of resistance against those who sought to silence her and deny her fellow girls their right to education. Malala's journey was fraught with danger. The Taliban, who had taken control of large parts of Pakistan, imposed strict laws that prohibited girls from attending school. Malala, who was just 11 years old at the time, began speaking out against these laws, advocating for education for girls in the region. Her words resonated not just within her community, but around the world. However, her activism made her a target. The Taliban, threatened by her outspoken resistance, issued numerous threats against her life. In 2012, Malala was shot in the head by a Taliban gunman while riding a bus home from school. The attack was intended to silence her, to extinguish her voice. However, the exact opposite happened. Despite being critically injured, Malala survived the attack. Her survival was not just a triumph over physical violence, it was a testament to the power of purpose. Even after the attack, Malala's commitment to her mission never wavered. Instead of retreating in fear, she continued to advocate for girls' education with even greater determination. Her recovery was a painful and arduous process, but it only strengthened her resolve to fight for the rights of girls around the world. She knew that her purpose was larger than herself, that her mission was about creating change not just in Pakistan, but globally. Malala's story shows us how the power of purpose can help the chosen one survive the storm. Despite the physical and emotional trauma she endured, Malala's commitment to her cause never faltered. She knew that her voice had the potential to change the world, and that knowledge drove her to keep going. She focused not on the immediate pain and suffering, but on the long-term impact of her mission. She understood that the fight for girls' education was a long-term struggle, and that her actions were part of a larger movement that would one day lead to lasting change. Her courage and resilience in the face of such overwhelming adversity sparked a global movement for girls' rights and education. Malala became the youngest ever recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014, and her story continues to inspire millions of people around the world. She turned her personal pain into motivation for a greater cause, using her platform to advocate for education and equality. Her purpose gave her the strength to survive the storm, and her continued commitment to her mission has made her a symbol of hope and change. Malala's example illustrates how the chosen one's purpose can carry them through the storm, even in the darkest of times. Her mission, driven by a deep belief in the right of every girl to be educated, was the guiding light that kept her moving forward when everything seemed to be falling apart. She knew that her work was not just about her own safety or success. It was about creating a better future for generations of girls. This higher purpose allowed her to survive the storm and emerge even more determined to fulfill her mission. The story of Malala also highlights the importance of having a long-term vision. Malala did not focus on the immediate obstacles she faced. She focused on the future. She understood that the fight for girls' education would not be won overnight, but that each step she took, each word she spoke, brought the world closer to equality. The chosen one's ability to focus on the long-term impact of their actions, rather than on the temporary discomforts or dangers, is what allows them to survive the storm. It is this perspective that keeps them going when the challenges seem overwhelming. In conclusion, the power of purpose is a central force that enables the chosen one to survive the storm. It is their belief in a cause greater than themselves that drives them to push forward, even in the face of unimaginable adversity. Malala Yousafzai's story is a perfect example of how a clear, unwavering purpose can help the chosen one navigate the greatest trials of their life. Her commitment to girls' education allowed her to endure the worst of the storm and come out the other side as a global leader for change. The chosen one's purpose gives them the strength to keep moving forward, to endure hardship, and to remain focused on the long-term impact of their actions. When everything else seems uncertain, their purpose is what will guide them through the storm and onto the path of greatness. As we have explored in the previous sections, the chosen one's journey is marked by immense challenges, both internal and external. The storms they face are not only external adversities, but also internal battles, self-doubt, fear, and moments of personal weakness. However, despite their internal strength, mental toughness, and purpose-driven resilience, the chosen one cannot survive the storm alone. Even the most powerful individuals need a support system to help them navigate the toughest trials. It is through mentorship, allies, and the community they serve that the chosen one finds the emotional and practical support necessary to endure. This support system is not just a luxury, it is essential for their survival and success. In the previous section, we discussed how the chosen one's purpose serves as a guiding light, helping them endure the hardships they face. This purpose keeps them focused on the long-term goal, allowing them to rise above immediate struggles. However, no matter how strong their purpose, there will always be moments when the chosen one feels overwhelmed by the storm. It is in these moments of vulnerability that the strength of a support system becomes critical. Without the support of others, the chosen one's journey would be infinitely harder, and they may not be able to endure the weight of the challenges before them. A support system for the chosen one often takes many forms. One of the most significant forms of support is mentorship. The chosen one is often guided by mentors, individuals who have walked the path before them and can offer wisdom, advice, and guidance. Mentors play a crucial role in helping the chosen one navigate difficult decisions, providing a sounding board for their ideas and offering practical advice on how to handle challenges. Mentorship also serves as a source of emotional support. A mentor can provide reassurance during moments of self-doubt and remind the chosen one of their strength and potential. The guidance of a mentor can help the chosen one see beyond the immediate storm and focus on the larger purpose of their journey. In addition to mentorship, the chosen one also relies on allies, individuals who stand by them and support their mission. These allies can come in many forms, from close friends and family members to colleagues, fellow activists, or political partners. Allies play a vital role in offering not only emotional support, but also practical help. They provide the chosen one with the resources they need to continue their fight, whether it be funding, protection, or logistical assistance. Allies also help to amplify the chosen one's message, spreading their vision and mission to a broader audience. The collective strength of a network of supporters makes the chosen one's journey less isolating and more sustainable. With a strong network of allies, the chosen one is less likely to burn out or become discouraged because they know they are not alone in their fight. Perhaps one of the most profound sources of support comes from the people the chosen one serves. When the chosen one's mission is rooted in the betterment of others, the support of the community is a powerful motivator. The people they serve provide both the inspiration and the emotional fuel to keep going. For the chosen one, the act of serving others is often a reciprocal relationship. While they give their time, energy, and resources to the people they serve, they also receive invaluable support, encouragement, and solidarity from those they help. This sense of mutual support helps to strengthen the chosen one's resolve and keeps them grounded in the belief that their work is meaningful and necessary. In many cases, the chosen one's success is not only a result of their own efforts, but also the collective power of the people they inspire and lead. One of the most powerful examples of surviving the storm with support is Nelson Mandela, whose ability to endure the hardships of apartheid and the 27 years he spent in prison was greatly supported by his comrades, family, and the global anti-apartheid movement. Mandela's mission was to dismantle apartheid and establish a free, democratic South Africa where all people, regardless of race, could live in equality and peace. His commitment to this cause was unshakable, but his journey was not one he took alone. Throughout his fight, Mandela was supported by a network of individuals who shared his vision for a free South Africa. His comrades in the African National Congress, ANC, as well as other political leaders, played a crucial role in sustaining the movement and providing practical support for Mandela's efforts. Even when Mandela was imprisoned, his fellow activists continued the fight for freedom, keeping the pressure on the apartheid regime. They helped ensure that Mandela's name remained in the public eye, and their efforts created a global movement that rallied for his release and the end of apartheid. The support of his comrades was instrumental in keeping Mandela's mission alive during the years he spent in prison. Mandela's family also provided him with unwavering support, especially during his time in prison. His wife, Winnie Mandela, became a symbol of resistance in her own right, and she fought tirelessly for her husband's release and for the cause of freedom. Despite the personal toll that apartheid took on their family, Mandela's bond with his loved ones provided him with the emotional resilience to survive his imprisonment. Their letters, visits, and solidarity gave him the strength to endure the long years of confinement and remain steadfast in his commitment to ending apartheid. Perhaps most importantly, Mandela's support came from the global anti-apartheid movement. People around the world, politicians, activists, artists, and ordinary citizens, rallied behind Mandela's cause. Protests, boycotts, and campaigns were organised to put pressure on the South African government and demand Mandela's release. The international community's support gave Mandela a sense of solidarity and reinforced his belief that his fight was part of a larger, global struggle for justice and human rights. The collective power of this support system helped Mandela remain mentally and emotionally strong during his time in prison, and it played a critical role in his eventual release and the dismantling of apartheid. Mandela's ability to survive the storm was not simply a result of his own inner strength. It was the support he received from his comrades, his family, and the global movement that helped sustain him. Without this network of support, his journey would have been far more difficult and uncertain. The strength he derived from others helped him navigate the darkest moments of his life and stay focused on his ultimate mission. His story illustrates the power of collective strength and the importance of surrounding oneself with people who share the same vision and values. In conclusion, the chosen one's survival in the storm is not just about their own resilience and determination. It is about the support they receive from others, mentors, allies, and the communities they serve. A strong support system provides the chosen one with the emotional, practical, and moral support necessary to endure the challenges they face. Just as Nelson Mandela was sustained by the collective efforts of his comrades, family, and the global anti-apartheid movement, so too can the chosen one draw strength from the network of people who stand by them. In the face of adversity, the chosen one does not walk alone. The power of community, solidarity, and shared purpose is what helps them survive the storm and ultimately achieve their mission. In the previous section, we explored the critical role that support systems play in helping the chosen one survive the storm. Whether through mentorship, allies, or the community they serve, the strength derived from others is an invaluable resource. However, surviving the storm is not only about having internal resilience or external support, it also requires the chosen one to be adaptable. The storm, by nature, is unpredictable, and the challenges they face will not always come in the same form. They must be able to adjust, change, and evolve in order to survive. This adaptability is a key component of their journey, and is what allows them to continue fighting, no matter how the storm shifts. The need for flexibility is essential for the chosen one. The storm they face may start as one challenge, but can quickly transform into something entirely different. As circumstances change, the strategies that once worked may no longer be effective. The chosen one must be prepared to reassess their approach, change their tactics, and in some cases, shift their entire mindset. If they remain rigid in their thinking, they risk becoming overwhelmed or defeated. But if they embrace adaptability, they can find new paths to victory and continue their mission even when the situation seems dire. This ability to adapt is not just about altering one's strategy. It also involves recognizing that failure is a part of the process. The chosen one must learn to embrace failure, not as a defeat but as a lesson. Failure is an inevitable part of any journey, especially one as monumental as the chosen one's. When faced with obstacles, it's easy to feel discouraged and think that the storm is too much to overcome. However, failure is a powerful teacher. It shows the chosen one what doesn't work, allowing them to reassess, learn, and refine their approach. Each failure is an opportunity for growth, and by learning from past mistakes, the chosen one becomes more prepared for the next challenge. The fear of failure is often one of the most significant barriers to adaptability. Many people, especially those with high stakes in their mission, are afraid of failing because it can feel like the end of the road. The chosen one, however, understands that failure is not the end. It is simply a stepping stone on the path to success. They know that to survive the storm, they must be willing to take risks, make mistakes, and learn from them. In fact, many of the most successful individuals throughout history have faced repeated failures before they achieved greatness. It is their ability to learn from those failures and adapt that ultimately led to their success. A powerful example of adaptability in the face of failure is Thomas Edison, the inventor most famously known for his work on the electric light bulb. Edison's journey was fraught with failures. In fact, he experienced thousands of failed attempts before he successfully invented a commercially viable light bulb. For many, these failures would have been devastating, leading them to abandon their mission. But for Edison, each failure was simply an opportunity to learn and adjust his approach. He famously said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's ability to persist in the face of failure and his willingness to change his methods as he learned from his mistakes ultimately led to his success. He didn't let failure define him. Instead, he used it as a tool for growth, adapting and evolving his strategies until he achieved his goal. Edison's adaptability didn't just apply to his work on the light bulb. His entire approach to invention was built on the idea of constant experimentation and iteration. He embraced the scientific method: hypothesize, test, fail, learn, and improve. This approach allowed him to remain flexible in the face of setbacks and continue moving forward. When one idea didn't work, he adjusted, learned, and tried again. His ability to adapt and evolve despite repeated failures made him one of the most successful inventors in history. This example of Edison demonstrates the importance of flexibility in the face of adversity. The storm that the chosen one faces may not be easy to navigate, and they will undoubtedly encounter failure along the way. But it is through these failures that they develop the resilience and adaptability necessary to survive the storm. The chosen one's journey is not defined by their ability to avoid failure, but by their ability to learn from it, to change their approach, and to keep moving forward. Adaptability is also about recognizing that the storm itself is not static. It evolves and shifts, just as the challenges the chosen one faces will change over time. Sometimes external factors, such as changes in the political climate, social movements, or new technological developments, may alter the landscape of their mission. The chosen one must remain open to these changes, adjusting their strategies to take advantage of new opportunities or to navigate unforeseen challenges. This requires a level of awareness and flexibility that allows them to pivot when necessary. Being too rigid or inflexible in their approach can lead to stagnation and failure. Another important aspect of adaptability is the willingness to embrace new perspectives. As the chosen one faces the storm, they must be open to feedback, new ideas, and alternative solutions. Adaptability is about recognizing that there is always more to learn, and that the path to success is not a straight line. It's often a winding road, with many turns, detours, and unexpected challenges. Those who are able to remain adaptable are better able to navigate these twists and turns, adjusting their course as needed without losing sight of their ultimate goal. The ability to embrace change, to learn from mistakes, and to adjust in the face of adversity is crucial to surviving the storm. The chosen one's ability to adapt is what allows them to thrive, even when the world around them is in chaos. They know that survival doesn't mean staying the same. It means evolving, growing, and learning from each challenge they encounter. They view failure not as a roadblock, but as a necessary part of the process that will eventually lead them to success. In conclusion, adaptability is one of the most critical qualities that the chosen one must possess in order to survive the storm. The ability to adjust their strategies, mindset, and approach in response to changing circumstances is essential for overcoming obstacles and moving forward in their mission. Just as Thomas Edison turned failure into a tool for learning and growth, the chosen one must use adversity to refine their approach and become stronger. Adaptability allows them to embrace the uncertainty of the storm and turn it into an opportunity for growth. It is this flexibility, along with their emotional resilience and mental toughness, that empowers the chosen one to endure the most challenging storms and ultimately achieve greatness. The chosen one's journey is not about avoiding failure or hardship. It is about adapting to it, learning from it, and using it to fuel their progress toward a greater purpose. As we move forward in understanding the resilience of the chosen one, we've explored how emotional resilience, mental toughness, purpose, and adaptability are critical to surviving the storm. These elements are essential in enabling the chosen one to endure and grow through adversity. However, survival in the storm is not solely about enduring the forces that come at them. It also involves making difficult decisions, especially when they are faced with moral dilemmas and choices that challenge their very beliefs and values. These decisions often come at the most critical moments, when the chosen one is standing at a crossroads, unsure of the path ahead. It is in these moments that their character is truly tested. The chosen one is frequently put in positions where they must choose between what is easy for them personally and what is right for the greater good. These choices often come at the height of the storm, when emotions run high and external pressure is overwhelming. At this juncture, the chosen one may have to make decisions that are not in their personal best interest, but are necessary for the broader cause they are fighting for. These decisions are not simply about self-sacrifice. They are about understanding that their individual comfort, safety, or well-being cannot outweigh the importance of the greater mission. Sometimes the storm that the chosen one faces is not a physical one, but a moral one. It is a crisis of conscience, a moment where the chosen one must weigh the consequences of their actions against the ultimate goal they are working toward. The difficulty of these moral dilemmas cannot be overstated. The choices the chosen one faces are often fraught with personal risk. They may have to decide whether to betray their own desires and take a stand that could bring them harm, or whether to stay silent and allow the injustice they are witnessing to persist. In such situations, the chosen one must navigate between the potential for personal loss and the urgent need to act for the greater good. Making these choices is never easy, and they are often met with intense opposition, both from external forces and sometimes even from within themselves. These are the moments that define the chosen one's true strength of character, when they are willing to risk everything for a cause greater than themselves. Choosing the hard path, especially when it is unpopular, risky, or carries great personal sacrifice, is an essential part of surviving the storm. Often the chosen one's most significant decisions are the ones that go against the grain, that force them to stand alone or against the tide. These choices are rarely easy, and they are often the most challenging aspects of their journey. The chosen one must decide whether to follow the easier path, which might offer personal safety or comfort, or to face the storm head-on, knowing that doing so may come at a great personal cost. Choosing the hard path means accepting the risk of failure, facing the possibility of personal harm, and even enduring social rejection. Yet, it is these very decisions that define the chosen one's legacy, as they are the moments when true courage is forged. A powerful example of the chosen one making a difficult decision in the midst of a storm is Rosa Parks, whose refusal to give up her seat on a segregated bus in Montgomery, Alabama, was not just an act of defiance, it was a moral decision that changed the course of history. In 1955, Parks, a 42-year-old African-American woman, was arrested after she refused to comply with the bus driver's order to vacate her seat for a white passenger. Parks's act of resistance, though seemingly small, became a catalyst for the civil rights movement in the United States. However, this decision was not made lightly, and it came with significant personal consequences. At the time, the United States was still deeply segregated, and African Americans were routinely subjected to discrimination and second-class citizenship. Parks's decision to remain seated was not just a protest against the specific incident, but a bold stand against the systemic injustice of segregation. She understood the personal consequences of her actions. Refusing to give up her seat was an act of civil disobedience, and she knew that it could lead to arrest, social ostracism, and even violent retaliation. Parks was aware that her decision would not only have a profound personal impact on her life, but also on her community. She was risking her freedom and her safety for the sake of something much greater, the fight for equality and justice. In that moment, Parks made a choice to follow her moral compass and take a stand against injustice. She understood that the storm she was about to face would be intense. Her act of defiance would spark outrage, not only from the white community, but also from those who believed that the status quo should be maintained. But Parks, like many chosen ones, chose the hard path. She recognized that her personal sacrifice was necessary to bring attention to the larger issue of racial segregation. By standing firm in the face of injustice, she became an instrumental figure in the movement for civil rights. Rosa Parks' decision sparked the Montgomery bus boycott, a pivotal event in the civil rights movement. Her courage inspired others to join in the boycott, and it ultimately led to a Supreme Court ruling that declared segregation on public buses unconstitutional. What began as a personal act of resistance grew into a nationwide movement that changed the social fabric of America. Parks' decision to stand up for what was right, even when it meant risking everything, helped lay the foundation for greater equality and civil rights in the United States. Her choice was not easy, nor was it one she made lightly. Parks could have simply given up her seat, as many others did before her, but she understood that this was a moment when her actions could make a difference. She had the courage to face the storm and take a stand for justice. This decision, though risky and unpopular at the time, became a turning point in the fight for civil rights. Parks's actions exemplify the power of making difficult decisions in the midst of a crisis. The story of Rosa Parks illustrates the essence of what it means to choose the hard path. For Parks, this meant going against the social norms of her time, defying authority, and risking personal harm for the sake of something larger than herself. She chose to take a stand in the face of oppression, knowing that her actions could lead to great personal consequences. However, her bravery and the legacy of her decision continue to resonate today, as a reminder of the importance of standing up for what is right, even in the most challenging of circumstances. Rosa Parks' decision is just one example of how the chosen one must often make difficult choices for the greater good. The chosen one's journey is filled with these moments, times when they must weigh the cost of their actions against the potential benefits for others. These decisions, while incredibly difficult, shape their character and determine the trajectory of their mission. Choosing the hard path is often the only way to achieve lasting change. It is through these moral dilemmas, these moments of crisis, that the chosen one proves their true mettle. In conclusion, the chosen one's survival of the storm is not just about enduring the forces of opposition or adapting to changing circumstances. It is also about making difficult decisions, often in the midst of crisis, that challenge their values and test their character. These decisions are rarely clear-cut, and they often come with great personal risk and sacrifice. But it is in these moments, when the chosen one chooses the hard path over the easy one, that their legacy is forged. Rosa Parks' refusal to give up her seat is a powerful example of how a single decision, made in the eye of the storm, can change the course of history. The chosen one's ability to make these difficult decisions and face the consequences with courage and integrity is what enables them to survive the storm and fulfill their mission. In the previous section, we examined how the chosen one navigates the most difficult moral dilemmas and choices in their journey, especially when faced with decisions that demand personal sacrifice for the greater good. These choices, though incredibly challenging, are essential for their survival and success. However, while the immediate storm may feel overwhelming and even insurmountable at times, the chosen one's journey is not only about surviving the storm, but also about emerging stronger, wiser, and more capable of achieving their mission. It is through the storm that they are transformed, and the very struggles they face help shape them into the person they are meant to be. The hardship that the chosen one faces does not break them, rather, it forges them into a more resilient, determined individual. Transformation is one of the most powerful aspects of their journey. The storm, as harsh and unforgiving as it may be, serves as a crucible that refines their character and strengthens their resolve. It is in the face of adversity that the chosen one gains clarity, learns valuable lessons, and uncovers the depth of their own capabilities. The trials they endure reveal their true potential, and by overcoming the storm, they grow into the leader, advocate, or changemaker they are destined to become. This transformation is not just about the chosen one becoming more capable of facing future storms. It is also about how the lessons learned and the strength gained during their struggles equip them to fulfill their mission. Their ability to rise above hardship is a reflection of their internal growth. Through pain, sacrifice, and resilience, they become the embodiment of the very change they seek to create in the world. It is often said that the greatest leaders are those who have endured hardship and come out the other side with wisdom and understanding. This is true for the chosen one. Every challenge they face, every storm they survive, contributes to their evolution, ultimately making them more effective in fulfilling their higher purpose. The long-term impact of the chosen one's survival of the storm extends far beyond the immediate struggles they overcome. Surviving the storm is not just about personal growth or the accomplishment of their own goals. It also has a lasting impact on the world around them. Their journey leaves behind a legacy that influences future generations. The example they set of resilience, courage, and unwavering dedication becomes a guiding light for others who will one day face their own storms. The chosen one's legacy is one of inspiration, showing others that it is possible to endure hardship and emerge stronger, no matter how impossible the journey may seem. A powerful example of the chosen one's legacy is Martin Luther King Jr., whose leadership in the civil rights movement not only changed the course of American history, but continues to inspire movements for equality and justice around the world today. King faced immense challenges during his lifetime, from fierce opposition to his message of non-violent resistance to constant threats against his life. The storms he endured were not just personal struggles, they were battles for the very soul of the nation. King's courage and resilience in the face of these challenges became the foundation of his leadership, and it was through these trials that he became one of the most iconic figures of the 20th century. King's survival of the storm did not break him. In fact, it transformed him into the embodiment of peace, justice, and equality. His ability to endure setbacks, violence, and even personal loss helped shape him into the leader who could stand before thousands, preach non-violence, and demand change. The hardship he faced refined his understanding of justice and gave him the wisdom to lead the civil rights movement through some of its most critical moments. His famous "I Have a Dream" speech, delivered during the 1963 March on Washington, was not just a call for racial equality, it was a reflection of his own transformation, a powerful declaration of the vision he had for a better future, shaped by the struggles he had endured. But it wasn't just King's ability to survive the storm that made him so remarkable. It was his ability to use his personal experiences, his suffering, and his understanding of injustice to inspire a nation and to create lasting change. King's survival of the storm allowed him to accomplish his mission, leading the fight against segregation, discrimination, and racial injustice in America. Through his actions and leadership, he ultimately helped to bring about monumental changes, such as the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, both of which continue to have a profound impact on the fight for equality in the United States. Despite his tragic assassination in 1968, Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy lives on. His work inspired future generations to continue the fight for justice, and his message of non-violence and unity resonates in modern social movements for equality, LGBTQ+ rights, women's rights, and racial justice. His life and work showed that surviving the storm was not just about personal victory, but about creating lasting change that would continue long after the struggle had ended. King's transformation from a local minister to a global symbol of peace and justice exemplifies how the Chosen One's survival of the storm leaves behind a legacy that shapes the world for generations to come. The legacy of the Chosen One is not only seen in the immediate changes they make, but also in the ripple effects that continue long after their journey is over. Their actions, their decisions, and their perseverance become a beacon for others who are on their own paths of struggle and change. The Chosen One may not always see the full extent of their impact during their lifetime, but their legacy endures because of the lasting transformation they bring to society. They create a world that is different from the one they inherited, and that transformation continues to inspire and empower others to take on their own challenges. What makes the Chosen One's legacy so powerful is that it is not just about what they achieve, but about how their survival of the storm impacts those who follow in their footsteps. The lessons learned from their struggles, resilience, determination, empathy, and the courage to take action in the face of adversity, become lessons that future generations carry with them. Their legacy is not just a marker of their individual accomplishments, it is a blueprint for others to follow. The Chosen One shows us that no storm, no matter how fierce, is insurmountable, and that survival and transformation are not only possible, but can lead to a better future for all. In conclusion, the survival of the storm ultimately transforms the Chosen One. The hardships they face do not break them. They shape them into the leaders, changemakers, and advocates they were meant to become. Through their struggles, they become wiser, stronger, and more capable of fulfilling their mission. Surviving the storm allows the Chosen One to not only accomplish their immediate goals, but to leave a lasting legacy for future generations. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy is a powerful example of how survival and transformation in the face of adversity can create a lasting impact, one that continues to inspire movements for justice, equality, and peace today. The Chosen One's legacy is one of resilience, change, and hope, showing that, no matter the storm, the greatest impact often comes from rising above it and using the experience to create something greater than oneself. As we bring this video to a close, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned about the Chosen One and their journey through the storm. Surviving the storm is not about avoiding hardship or seeking an easy path. It's about how the Chosen One faces adversity head-on with strength, resilience, and a clear sense of purpose. The storms they encounter test them in unimaginable ways, but it is in those very tests that their true character is forged. It is through the trials and challenges they endure that they are transformed into leaders who inspire change, leave a lasting impact, and show others how to rise above adversity. The storm, in all its forms, whether it's external opposition, internal battles, or moments of moral crisis, is not just a destructive force. It is the crucible in which greatness is shaped. The hardships faced by the Chosen One serve as opportunities for growth, strengthening their resolve and sharpening their focus. They emerge from the storm not broken, but renewed, more capable of leading, inspiring, and achieving their mission. Every challenge faced and every obstacle overcome adds to their ability to transform the world around them. In this way, the storm becomes a vital part of the journey, for it is the adversity they endure that ultimately prepares them for greatness. Throughout history, we've seen numerous examples of individuals who faced incredible storms yet emerged as beacons of hope, justice, and transformation. Figures like Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, Rosa Parks, and Malala Yousafzai are all shining examples of how the chosen one's ability to survive the storm shapes their ability to inspire and lead change. Their stories remind us that true leaders are not born out of ease, but out of struggle. The storms they weathered did not defeat them, they made them stronger and more resolute in their mission. As we think about these examples, it becomes clear that survival in the storm is not just about personal endurance, it's about using the lessons learned from adversity to fuel a greater cause. The chosen one's strength comes from their purpose, from the understanding that their mission is bigger than themselves. They understand that while the storm may seem overwhelming in the moment, it is only through enduring it that they will fulfill their higher purpose. It is their resilience in the face of hardship that ultimately leads to lasting change, not just for themselves, but for the world around them. In the end, the chosen one teaches us that the greatest growth comes from overcoming challenges, from facing the storm and rising above it. The journey is not easy, but it is through adversity that they discover their true potential and their ability to inspire others. The storm may rage, but it is the chosen one's courage, clarity of purpose, and unwavering resolve that allow them to survive it and emerge stronger, ready to lead and create lasting change. Their story becomes a testament to the power of resilience, and their legacy continues to inspire generations long after the storm has passed. If you found this video insightful and inspiring, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. By doing so, you'll stay tuned for more powerful content on resilience, leadership, and the journeys of those who inspire us all. Together, we can learn how to face our own storms and emerge as stronger, more capable individuals, just like the chosen ones who came before us. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to sharing more stories of strength and transformation with you.